so dendenden ewo Ghana ha sei enyina yamo bibia jo ema makwa abade ba 24 radio eso bredu sense me fa abato yi ho de aboabo no ayato ne din trending news no na nwumre yi yesin konwa ne de besomo ewo fidie yi so ene enwumre yi Mami Jane Mensa a oye abato commissar one ne dom ehyansem trefo efa ahoboa a womo aye edifa abato no eho.
At such a critical time in our country's destiny, the facts and truth only is what should be disseminated, and we urge you to remain decorous in all your reportage.
Eno eye efutuo a wode ama yenuanom nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ ebi ena yɛde ama mo no enye enonko max ho nsɛnsɛm ene hyehyɛ ahodoɔ a wayɛ no wode ne nyinaa egu akwam ede ama yɛn enura na ye last day ede ema political parties no so mo ebo entoa na tamale ena NDC ne NPP for de ko bom a na nye asɛm keto akra police penny ho DSP Bernard Anyanga ene nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ akasa ede the cause of the problem ato eja
on them, but they are all okay, receiving treatment for minor cuts.
In some way, any afofro pii and an enumere yesin konwa yede eba besomo ewo efidie so yede polling stations ahodo sanso na constituencies ahodo mantam ahodo any presidential candidate womo nyina ensem ebeba besomo ewo efidie yi so a enya asem keto akra ewo ehonom in some way once again any ensem foforo a ka ho ebi na yede ba besomo ewo efidie so a enya asem keto akra medin ede Edward Donko Papa Smiley kika no mesi ani se ne be ya obeti enka ewo ntenten fidie no so wo ba bibia wo ye wadwuma a wotie yen efre na utie yen ewo modernghana.com eso sanso ena Zeno Radio tune in ena afei so oko YouTube nso a eya Akwentufo TV, Facebook eya Akwentufo Radio/TV oko on man nsam yi etwa gudendende a enya asem keto akra medin ede Edward Donko afei enwumre nsam no emu enchiremu enie ejebo ejenya bedru aka donhwere bese edu emienu 12 hours na yede abato na hyehyɛ so dendenden ewo Ghana entwa so baabia a enya asem keto akra na ene dai abato commissar ye Mami Jane Mensa ene nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ edi enkomo na ene ensɛm a one yen ɛkan na na kyerɛ sɛ nyensɛm keto akra wode ato edwa sɛ obɛhwɛ sɛ wohwɛ special vote na edi ka to odwa na turn out no ɛyɛ ɛdeɛ na nso wohwɛ sɛ afi abaye ba beto yi general one no turn out no bɛkɔ soro yɛ pa enye asɛm keto akra wasade ato edwa sɛ max no ɛyɛ adeɛ bi a ɛwɔ sɛ Ghana fo nyina yɛ kambom na yɛtimi ɛhyɛ titiri yɛ na yɛtimi ya qualify a yɛ ba beto santre akwakoyi omampani ene mmarahyɛ bedwafoɔ no yɛwɔ sɛ yɛbɔ yɛn homoden na yɛhyɛ max no kora free efie ansana yɛba beduru polling stations mmiaye ahodoɔ ɛhɔ na ɛno ɛna ɔsade ato edwa sɛ ɔbɛsrɛ nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ sɛ yɛn reportage yɛ bibia ɛnyɛ no kora trodo na ɔno yisi ɛne ne dɔm wɔn ayɛ krado sɛ wɔn ɛbɛyɛ adwuma a wɔn bɛgyina mfimfini na wɔn nkɔnkɔ wɔn nkankɔ benkum anaasɛ wɔn nkankɔ nifa wɔn bɛgyina na wɔn ayɛ wɔn adwuma sɛnea ɔman kronkron Ghana ɛhwehwɛ ɛde ɛfiri wɔn nkyɛn no na ɔsɛ wɔn gyidie ɛne wɔn bibia verification machine ne deɛ kekeka ho no ne nyinaa ɛdam trododo a ɛbɛbɔ adwuma papapapa Mami Jane Mensa.
We therefore caution all parliamentary results as well. We therefore caution all stakeholders, particularly the political parties, to desist from declaring results. We have indicated our intention to declare the final certified results in a timely manner, and we will do so, God being our helper. We therefore call on all our stakeholders to remain patient and leave the Electoral Commission to perform it. Finally, our distinguished citizens, we cannot close our curtain today without expressing our sincere gratitude to all of you. You have kept faith with us and walked this journey with us, work and processes, and has left us in a much better place than when we started. We thank you very much. To our dear media partners, we thank you so much for partnering with us. It's been a long road, and you have worked with us to ensure that the truth and facts regarding our work are disseminated to the citizenry. We could not have come this far without you, and we say thank you and God bless you. We entreat you to remain true to your creed and your profession. At such a critical time in our country's destiny, the facts and truth only is what should be disseminated, and we urge you to remain decorous in all your reportage. As the chairperson of the commission, I pledge on behalf of the whole commission that we will remain true to our motto and operate with fairness, in integrity, and promote transparency till the very end, God being our helper. This is a final call to our staff in the field, all our field officials. Let truth guide you, and let integrity preserve you. We assure all of you, our distinguished citizens, that the results that will be delivered will reflect the will of the people and the will of the people only, as expressed on the time. Finally, I'd like to encourage all voters who turned up in their numbers to register to go out tomorrow, Monday, the 7th of December, and cast their votes peacefully. Let us remember that your vote is your power for the peace of our dear nation. And before we close this session, I leave you with the words of the hymn, "O God, our help in ages past." It says, "O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast, and our eternal hope, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. Let peace reign."
Mami Jane Mensa abato komisa ene enyumre yi pese no miensa no ho ne nsɛmtwerɛfo hyiaye wɔde sansɛm yi eto edwa ɛwɔ ɛhɔ na wɔde to dwa sɛ ukɔ rural areas wa na sikasɛm ana ho kyerɛ kakra ɛwɔ hɔ ɛno ti de aba to komisa no bɛyɛ ene sɛ ene polling stations a ɛwɔ baabi a memfa ne sɛ wɔ akurase kakra no de aba to komisa no ayɛ ne sɛ wɔbɛma wɔn face mask sɛ ne bɛyɛ a obi ba na so ɔnhyɛ face mask no bi a wɔn betumi ama no bi ahyɛ na sɛ ɔman mu no nyinaa wɔn provide face mask deɛ ɛno deɛ wɔn ntumi ɛnyɛ.
I think even this week we sent out a notice, to our staff cautioning them against receiving food items and beverages from party agents, even if it doesn't have any logo of the party, and it extends to masks as well. They may do so in the communities outside the polling station, and I'm sure that is being done. They may do so outside the confines of the polling station, but within the polling station, they cannot share any item there because they could end up sharing pens and everything else and compromise the integrity of the poll. So they are not allowed to bring anything and share anything to anybody. In the community, they may, and that is allowable, that they may come in with plain masks, without a party symbol and so on.
Eno nsɛm a ɔkafa parties a wɔn ɛkyɛ ɛnɔɔma ɛwɔ polling stations no ɛna ɔde to dwa sɛ political party bi ani ho kwan sɛ baabi a ɛto aba no ɔbɛkɔ akɔkyɛ face mask anaasɛ wɔde biribi ɛbɛkɔ akɔma obi a ɔto aba ɛne deɛ ɛtia mmara ɛno nti political parties ne nyinaa ɛntwe wɔn ho ɛmfiri hɔ na mask ɛbɛkyɛ ɛde ama yɛnuanom a wɔn ɛwɔ nkuro nketewa mu no sɛ yi ɛna ɔde saa nsɛm no ɛto dwa.
Names are being sent to the polling station where they registered, and therefore if they do show up, they will be allowed to be verified manually. These are persons who will fill the manual verification form because their names are not on the biometric verification device. However, as I mentioned, their manual verification forms at the polling stations, their details are there, their Form 1As and Cs are there, and they'll be allowed to vote if they do turn up, so they will not be disenfranchised. We wish we could have provided it for all. And this is being responsive. It was not planned. But there have been some concerns about persons who may not be able to afford it, who may show up at some of the polling stations. And, in a bid not to disenfranchise them, we have made arrangements to have masks in those rural polling stations to ensure that should anybody appear without a mask, they will be afforded the opportunity to vote. However, we are of the view that with the extensive education that we have put out in 6 major dialects, local dialects and in the English language, so 7 in total, and it's gone down for the last 6 weeks, extensive education on our safety protocols and responsibilities of the citizenry as well. We are very hopeful that everybody will turn up with a mask or at best a piece of cloth covering their nose and their mouth. If I should take a cue from what happened at the special voting, we had a turnout of 87.8% turnout at the special, things going well. But from the special voting, the turnout was 87.8. And if that is an indication, of how things are going to go, then we are expecting that tomorrow as well we should have such a high turnout or better.
Eno abato komisa ye maame chain mensa ene etene nka no na enye no nkosade tudwa wabre bisa ne se adenti ena ode ato edwa se 24 hours normal totoma ode resource no baba betudwa na okire mu se na se resource aba na se womonsa aka bibia na bibia ye accurate adenti ena ewo se oma Ghana for etwa na ansa na the results aba se results no nya todwa na bibia deda na kwemu dia ene ehu hia se abato komisa obe keep results no ewo so oba bonten na ode betodwa ema omanfo enyina etie ewo ho na se abre ne abre ombekoso ade enoma agu akwemu se ne be ya Ghana for ebenya ebete ensema ekoso efa abato no eho yese omokọ akose edem nko a womo ene ensemtrefo ebedididi nkomo wa abre abato no eho sensem aguso ekoso no na omo call centers ahodo enso ewo honum sanso ena media centers o honum a omo nyina beba bonten ede enoma details ana update ede aba bonten ama amansan enso ehunu de ekoso ewo honum na just feedback betimi abaso a enye asem keto akra osanso ede tudwa se wow na ko se okoto aba ewo special voting mu a wentimi enya kwan koto aba so odin PM ewo special voting list num dia ene how ho enko polling station fi se unya ekwan enkon koto aba so no kore ha no se Ghana ni bi entimi ento aba efa wei eho nanso aba ne sa omo bi ekwan ede tumu ebo dawro ewo ntentenfidie so ede mamansan so omo nko na omo hwe so omo din ewo ma nanso ekoye ehwebu ada enyina eka obi ena nipa no bi entimi akwa akoto womo aba enunti womo a omo din ewo special voting list no ma omo entimi akwa akoto aba ne de age say next election no betimi a kire omadwene
declare within 24 hours is not as it stood, and it's not within a law. It is just with the mindset that if you have the results, why keep it? And a lot of effort has been made to ensure that the results will reach us in a timely fashion. We do have certain communities that are the riverine communities and so on, which have rivers crossing and separating communities. Some arrangements have been made to ensure that they are able to send the results to the collation centers and so on. But we are doing this with one thing in mind. If you do have the results, why keep it? Why hold a nation to ransom and keep a nation in suspense and you have the results? So there is just efficiency being built into the processes. If you are a presiding officer at the polling station and you've collated your results, within a certain time frame, you should be able to move it on. Not to say that, oh, I'm done, I'm going to have a beer at the bar, or I'm going to sit at the chop bar and give myself a big meal of fufu or something. You've got to move. And so this is what we all are responsible to do, but it is not cast in stone. And therefore, if for one reason or the other, and I don't think that will happen, we are not able to achieve it, we are not falling foul of the law. But this is the intention. Yes, and then also we would keep you abreast throughout the voting day tomorrow. We have a media center which will be churning out, responding to questions and concerns, and which would keep you abreast on issues that may arise. And of course, as I mentioned, we have the call center as well. But together we'll be providing you with periodic feedback. I did mention that the intention is to keep posting results as they trickle in and responses to issues on our website. We don't intend to go silent for 24 hours, but as and when the results trickle in, we'll be providing, the citizenry with updates on the results that are certified. until the final declaration. So basically, that is what it is. And the special voting, unfortunately, those who have their names on the special voters list, but we are not able to exercise their franchise, lose their right to do so, because their names are not reflected in the in the register. So that is, I felt bad that some people didn't go and cast their votes, because that list was advertised extensively on the website, and additionally copies were given, the soft copies were given to the various institutions that took part in the special voting. So unfortunately they lose their right to exercise their franchise tomorrow.
Eno abato komisan ye mama Jane Mensa ne de ye oje bre ne nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ ɛkasa ye ɛfa nhyehyɛ a wɔn ayɛ ɛfa ba ye ba betro wɔ bɛsɛ dɔnhwere du baako ntem ɛho no nyame admo kyena nonson anopa nonson pɛpɛɛpɛ oko polling station hwɛ sɛ obehu ID card wapropro ho na de ahyɛ obotom wo decision ekuta wankasa eni kwan sɛ wo ma obi influence wo okɔ no ma na wakɔ akɔto no kɔdɛ na waba betena fie radio ebu obetna akwantufo radio so na watie if we say yen ene yede accurate report ebema mo efa abato no eho yede nyina ebesom dan se obekwa akoye basabasa ewo abato polling stations ahoto ho yeyi eyen sema yen so yewo eka ede ekyeremo efa abato no eho na maame Jane Mensa ewie krakra no ene ode to dwa se political parties no bi ho no ma che se omo aye omadwene se omo ewo body guys a omo eka omo ho kɔ miamia ahodo ne no no de atodwa se sa body guys no obehwe se aposifo bedi djuma ama sa body guys ni nyina ye entertain wo mo eno no o kyerɛ mu se unkuta accreditation na se onkonkoto aba wo polling station ho no ma eni kwan se okɔ polling station ho na okofa basabasa ebia ebre abato komisan no eno nti omobema bambofo ahwe sa adwumade yi ebeyi eye adwuma ewo ehonom sei ena ye maame Jane Mensa ekafa body guys and as security political parties no be ewo no.
And I believe they have seen the reason, and the security agencies are aware that every party has an agent, one for presidential and one for parliamentary. And therefore, if you are not a party agent with the accreditation of the EC, bearing the EC accreditation card, you cannot hang around there to police the ballot. You don't have business there. So within the polling station and the collation centers, it is the EC officials who are properly clothed in their identification jackets with the logo, and the party agents who have the accreditation cards who are allowed in there. So I believe that a lot of briefing has gone on with the security agencies. We've had several meetings with them. I believe they have also in turn trained the officials as to what to allow and what is allowable and what is not. So we do not expect that persons who are not legitimate or who have not been accredited to be there would be there. And I'm sure that the police will perform their functions creditably. And that's why we've engaged with them for a long time to discuss some of these activities with them, what is allowed and what is not allowed at the polling station and at the collation centers.
Eno maame Jane Mensa yemfa ne nsɛm no ensia na yenkɔkɔdeo for asoye na eno ena ye maame Roda Afo wɔyɛ team leader ede ema kodeo wɔno so jebre ekyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ ye can rejected ballot paper sai kura na esi etie no no kyerɛ mu sɛ wɔhwɛ ballot papers no bi wɔ no ma de mouse kɔtɔ aba yisi womo stamp anasa Ghana stamp no bi emoso na say stamp moso a na che se woto aba no wie kura ye kan a ye be reject no ne nyina eka ho bi nti ko akoto aba no ye tipepa no ma say kim hwe hunu se ya stamp so kama ansa na de akwa ballot boot no akoto waba ewo eho enye enonko osade nkyiremu pii eka rejected ballot papers eho.
The ballot paper does not bear the official mark of the commission. So on the part of the poll officials, they're supposed to be checking if the ballot that are in the box are really authentic ballots. On the part of the voter, you're also supposed to be sure that what you have is a valid ballot. Then B is not
comprinted by the voter to clearly identify the candidate for whom the vote was cast. So if you vote and it's not clear whom you voted for, then your ballot is going to be rejected.
To be sure that the clarity is at
Print at all. So a blank paper will be rejected if it has on the ballot paper writing or mark by which the voter could easily be identified. So if you go writing, say your name or your phone number on your ballot paper, that qualifies to be rejected during sorting. So I think this is quite important. We are going to vote, but we must make sure that our votes are counted at the end of the day. Issue I want to touch on is the issue of misinformation, and we all have to be responsible, voters and citizens. A lot of information will likely come through in the next few hours, in the next few days, but it's important that at every point in time, whatever we are forwarding, we are sharing on whatever platform, we have a certain level of we have to be sure what we are sharing so that you are not just receiving and forwarding information without verifying or checking to see whether this really augurs well for the peace of the country. Then the other thing is about, again, the COVID. For our rural folks,
Rhoda was saying for Kodeo team leader and yet saying can ewo ehono na Chemu sese a yeba beto abayi ensem de pi ebeba abontene so ba yenhwe na yenhu sensem ebeba abontene no eye accurate eno enton chen so ye ko na se ye kwa koto aba yenhwe enhu se COVID-19 no eye rare nti ye max no ye behye no honom na afensu yen comport ye ho se ne be ya sumde ewo ye mamu ha sei no eno so etimi edimu Mami Rhoda af osei afo eye kodeo mpanimfo no ba kopa na yene no bon komo de sa enchirimu no ede ema ye na afenso ye monwra mu na ye nhunu polling stations ahodo sanso na constituencies a 2020 general election yensa ebetimi aka na doma omo ejinam as parliamentary candidates sanso as na presidential candidates so yetimi ehu ewo eho na sei na esitie Ghana presidential and parliamentary elections no December 7 nyame admoch na no so sei kan o polling station na ba bia okotwere udin no de hia ne se obefa wo ID card na wakohonom okohonom a se nyaw na odi kan a obekwa akoto edomo ho kiu na yasa no na wetimi edisubi okwa hunu se wo COVID-19 protocols no ubetimi edi so kama e wo so show face mask every fie afi wo sanitizer e bia wo de ahye obotom wa bra o card ekuta wo eno ne ade a ehia ye pa ansa na wetimi ede akọ polling stations ahodo no enye sa na max no bi enhye wa sade ye yisi boss e kan ye no wo so pa bibi na ade kyekere wo hune ene wa no se ne be ya wo COVID-19 no onfa ensai amanfo ewo eho na sei ena esi etie ho afi abaye babeto nipa a wo etimi register ye no eye 17,029,981 17,029,981 eye edoma yehwe se wo ebetimi akwakoto aba nyame ya adoma ochina na osombo ken kopem nonum anwumre ebre na yebeka ya last week you see bronya busumi ne de dikan no aposifo nsemtrefo ene ekuo awdo aka no awomo juma edanso ewo abato ebremu no womo etimi kokyere womo adwenti ebete eno efrim na kyese akabe se yede no ebeto edwa ewo honom na kyese doma womo nyina ye ka womo boma ene womo beto nyambo echi na womo betimi ato aba no eye 17,029,981 ena ebetimi ato santene ato aba ewo ho na emema eye 8,218,866 8,218,866 ena ebetimi ato santene ato aba ema enso eye 8,811,115 8,811,115 eye ema wo so ebetimi ato abano bi ewo ho na ma no edoso sene emema na polling stations ahodo a yebekọ akoto sant na ato abano wondodo eye 38,622 38,622 polling stations mpem aduasa engoche ahensia aduonu emienu mpem aduasa engoche ahensia aduonu mienu eye polling stations a electoral commission ede asi wose Ghana for ebetimi akoto aba ewo ho na constituencies no eye 275 constituencies 275 constituency ahenu edioson enum eye abato empesua electoral commission no achichem amenya polling stations 38,622 ewo ho mantam edu ensia ene beto aba no ewo mu mantam edu ensia ene beto aba ewo mu kaisa 2016 yekwa akoto aba no mantam edu ene eto no wo mu na abanyi ebaaye no ode ensia abeka dada no ho ama sese a mantam no aye edu ensia 16 regions are 10 eye old ones and 6 eye new created regions and so ababeka dada no ho a ni nyina akwakoye edu nsia ewo ho presidential candidates omo eye edu mienu 12 ena ekwako gina ewo eho na parliamentary candidates no so omo dodo eye 914 ahenkron ene edu enan 914 parliamentary candidates ena ekwako gina mu a enya asem ketwa kra na omo mu no uchem mienu a ema ne mema no emema no eye 788 parliamentary candidates 788 parliamentary candidates ene betimi ato abanyame ye beto omoso abanyame ya adom ochina emma enso eye 126 parliamentary candidates woka omunyina ebuma na akwakoye ahenkron ene edu enan 914 na maximum parliamentary candidate per constituency a okohonoma enipa no dooso ya omugina se beto omso aba asmrase bedwafo no womo dodo akosoro ena eye edu enwoche ena de constituency a okoho omuso akora no eno so eye mienu eno eye ensem a yebetimi de ato edwa ewo abato no ho ensem ebi eno no na sei ena esi etie ewo ho enipa a womukọ akogina ame ato omoso aba as presidential candidate no sei ena esitie nana adodan kwa Akufo-Addo NPP amayekio no wono ena otu franka ede amano wono ejinam John Dramani Mahama NDC otu franka de mawomo Christian Kwabena Andrews gum Ghana Union Movement wono so wono ejinam ede emano okopehwe chirabosom ewo ballot paper no so a unhuno ni die ewo na ID card so ena ewo ballot paper no so eno ti eye Christian Kwabena Andrews sa enso ena ye maame obaba akon abewrem ye friend Bridget Akosua Jobonuku PPP wono ne tu franka de ma omo Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rollins ono so eye oba ono so eka eho ebi NDP ojinam ye maame Ekuadonko enye no GFP ono so ejinam dendenden a ede ema no ewo eho na chese mama akomako miensa mesremeka ma miensa ena omudin aba ballot paper no so nyame ya adom ochina yebehu omo ewo so na Hassan Ayaraga APC All People's Congress wono so ne din jinam dendenden oto franka ede ama APC amanyekuo no Ivo Kobina Green Street wono so CPP wojinam dendenden ede ema amanyekuo no ede tu franka de ma womo Henry Herbert Latte GCPP wojinam ede mano Percival Kofi Apalu wojinam LPG yankonkon a David Asibi Apasra PNC wono so jinam dendenden ena afin so Alfred Kwame Esiedu Walker independent candidate, the only independent candidate whereby ballot paper no so for 2020 general election no eye Alfred Kwame Esiedu Walker one also jinam dendenden a wo hwese Ghana for ebeto emano ede amano na chese ensam no ebi ena yede asomo no yebekọ so ade update ede amamo efa abato no eho sene ebeya monso mobetimi ate mo ho ase ewo ehonom kaise neda yi isi etimi ene ensemtrefo edi enkomo efa abato no eho sa enso ena yabobi ede akyeremo ewo efidie yi so a enye asem ketwa kra ene enwumre yi nonwotre ebose ikim na nado danko Akufo-Addo so beba betena Ghana television so na wa address oman no efa abaye ba beto no ho kai say yɛgyae campaign ɛyɛ ɛno nti Nana Danko Akufo-Addo wɔyɛ ɔmampani ɔba bɛgyina fidie no so na wakasa sɛ ɔmampani ɔmɛgyina Ghana television so ɛnyɛ campaign ɛwɔ hɔnom yɛnkae na yɛnhyɛ no nso ɛwɔ hɔ na ɛnurada campaign no bɛɛ wie pɛ ɛna wokɔpie mu ɔtamale a basabasa yɛtumi ɛbaa ne nyinaa ɛfa NPP ɛne NDC a wɔn ɛwɔ tamale wɔn de bɔani a kyerɛ sɛ nyɛ asɛm ketewa koraa na no ɛna aposifoɔ kyerɛm sɛ nnipa nson ɛna wɔn ho ɛtumi ɛkaeɛ na wɔn praepraeɛ a na nyɛ asɛm ketewa koraa ɛwɔ hɔ Regional Police Commander ɛyɛ Bernard Ayanga Northern Regional Police Commander ɛne yɛn ɛbɔ nkɔmɔ ɛde deɛ nti a nsɛm no ɛsiiɛ ɛde kyerɛ yɛn so far wɔn ɛtumi akyi obi ɛfa saa nsɛm no ho asomdue da so ɛwɔ tamale na sɛyi ɛna ɔmanfoɔ mo hɔ nso wɔn esi ehu nsɛm no ɛfa wɔn yam sisi wɔn anaasɛ wɔn akoma ato wɔn ɛyam sɛyi ɛna tamale Police Commander yewura Bernard Ayanga ɛde nsɛm ɛto nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ anim fa basabasa a ɛto dwa ɛnurada ɛwɔ tamale no.
Was that members of the MP were holding a rally at the Kechejele in the Kwandai, whereas NDC was holding a rally at Kundi. So when the other members of the MPP closed and they were going home, they happened to meet the other NDC members also having their rally. That resulted in the zone throwing and 7 people sustained injuries, but they are all okay, receiving treatment for minor cuts.
Have there been any arrests?
We are trailing on some suspects to arrest, which, of course, most of them, after committing these offenses, they find their way into the bush at that location looking for the suspects.
Security situation.
What happened was that security situation very perfect, but for the timely intervention of the police, it would have resulted in any other thing. And I think the police did their best in the responding on time. The situation is very calm. We have no problems. Other changes, it doesn't affect any situation or any arrangement that we have put in place to ensure a peaceful election.
A police commander wo tamale mantam no emu ena yetenenka no Commander Bernard Ayanga ene yetenenka ewo eho no na okopie mo kintampo a efutuo akọ de ama amabunu sa ba ye ba betoi womo enhwe na womo anye basabasa ewo ho Francis ano eye ACP de ema kintampo aposifo dwumadi
ne baby a hwa bia ho asem kakra na ayese eya ntokwa ye wo kakra wo ye division ha both north and south the yanso yetumi hu sa areas no de ho no ya discreet for at the same time for telephone numbers at the bema se bia ho no basabasa bi e ba ho mbefre ye wo petrol team a omo ho na was stand by men amo ti se e basa e be ma petrol team na akọ no ma akọ security for no amo ho tempo ye wo hotspots about 30 that is a tempo no election no e be ba so 7th December but security personnel they are starting their preparation before because of that the entry on the first so that we will get up for the Benyamre, the Brene, the Aye, Aji, Ahom, Yanya, perform duty during the election. Davinti, police stations over 300. Yes, almost all of them, Yanyan Crawford, Mobako, Aquashe, Batono. At the same time, so, Crawford free Accra, Bakaya, Yawaha, Abwaye, a security for free Accra, Babakaya, na Omunya Abwaye, na Yashe, I'm a election, Akko, Sojojo.
Eno Francis ano police commander working tampo ena yetenenka se tax force nso ebese free enkran na omo aba behwe ama bibia timi akoso wano ewo eho na enye ononko ena ode efutuo ama emabunu ana waka ensem afa bambo ensem eho enwada yɛde to dwa sɛ IGP James Oponbo no nso de afutuo ama yɛ nyinaa sɛ yɛmmoa na yɛma asomdue nyɛ adwuma afei nso ɔde ato dwa sɛ aba a yɛba bɛtɔ yi bambɔ nsɛm ɛbɛyɛ adwuma pa a ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa koraa ne mmeranteɛ no nso ayɛ krado sɛ ɔmo ɛbɛdi dwuma na afei wɔn abɔ adwapadeɛ ahodoɔ ho ban.
History and the eyes of the world and the country at large are on us. Between now, the 7th, and after the elections, we have dedicated ourselves to protect Ghanaians, residents of Ghana, and more importantly, to protect the ballot. Therefore, I urge all of you to put in your best. All of us must be professional. We must put on the prescribed uniforms only. We must wear our armbands and make sure that we report for duty at the appropriate time. For your information, our brothers and sisters in the Ghana Armed Forces and operational teams of the Ghana Police Service have already been deployed in the field. So you go and meet them. We expect an incident-free election, but when any incident arises, make sure you report it to the appropriate authority. We are confident in you that you are going to deliver. When you go, please comport yourselves. The men, please zip your trousers. And also, I hope to see all of you back after the elections.
Inspector General of Police James Oponbo no na yete ne nka ewo ho no na ye wrap it up wo campaign amo eno dasuomu na eno na ye sori anope ye ne lawyer amofa ebo nkomo ena ochirem se wode aseda ema bekwai abato empesua no so se o ma asuso no mu aye no yoyoyo aboaje ne so ye pa na yentie nsem a wode to nsem trefo anim. Eno lawyer akwasi amofa mansie broni bekwai abato mpesua so eno no so gina as independent candidate nenka ena yete na nado dan kwa kufuado enso ebo ne nto ano o summarize no wo enkran na sei ena John Ejekum Kufuor kane mampani wo ede ema Ghana for
campaign records in many of the 16 regions of Ghana no many reports from all over. Me catch them say Ghana mine, I feel the mine are mature. Now mine no do na ya jini say Akufuado mfin na de animu was out was so that man why am we no. I do that about you know your president you know or for the one touch Ghana forward by Asman view.
Na Samira Bawumia second lady Her Excellency Samira Bawumia enso editu dwa se Ghana for ensanfa tumi no ema NPP mfie na isobiem.
Ghana have already rejected the propagandist ethnocentric civilly again. Ghana has moved on. Ghana is moving on. Ghana is on the move with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ghana is on the move with a visionary leader. A leader who has a plan, a cohesive plan for farmers, for students.
Na parties akese mienu nyina echeki enkran na nado dan kwa Akufo-Addo enso editu dwa se wono de wogidie mapase Ghana fo wonmu aresimu esene enipa a wone womo epre nyina.
Bereft of record, empty of vision, pain, has collapsed in confusion. Who today is hanging his political career? The Ghanaian people are not ready to go down that avenue.
John Dramani Mahama ne NDC fo so ewie o campaign no ewo enkran.
The president has
has run out of ideas. Today, he went to Dododio to campaign, and he lifted the hand of his parliamentary candidate and asked the people of Dododio to vote for him and to vote for Neil and Van der Point. I agree with him 100%. They should vote for Neil and Van der Point. It is obvious that the president is tired and he has no message. And so let us relieve his carrying.
Na osanso de tujwa say NDC one more track record some beba abeyo man ye.
Sa emra se ne beya enyoma betimi akoye eno ne de hu ye manifesto no. Menye nipa tuminti mekwa akodi intro akase ne minti binye mekase meye. Enti emse ejidi asem enti omo mu jimidi no no jidi se ombeto amame. No track record se me deliver enyoma mekase meye. Ghana wa kwenya yebetimi epeja omaino but wo hwe bibia ye kona ase ya fa kwan ede ekompewrem so say yesa de Ghana ebisi kwan no so na yetimi ko
Ne krakra mu wode tujwa say ye economy na tete pansam ewo NPP fonsem
and bring it back on track. This president has no clue where he's taking us to, and he's taking us into a ditch. A government that says it has created 2 million jobs, and you ask them in what sector? And they say planting for food and jobs. I say, how did you create those jobs in planting for food and jobs? And can you imagine what the person says? He says 1 bag of fertilizer creates 7 jobs. And we've distributed 100,000 bags of fertilizer. So we've created 700,000 jobs. I mean, what insane analysis is this? A vote for Akufo-Addo on Monday is a vote for PDS. We cannot allow that to happen. They are on a rescue mission.
eno kane mampeni John Dramani mama na ene trending news no ode stamp wesi so awie ede amaye no Papa Smiley keka no ma esi eni meeting ede edwedonko ote yenka ewo Zeno Radio tuning and afin so modernghana.com YouTube 24 TV Facebook 24 radio/TV yemfensia nyame adomo china obesa ate yenka ya kramo.
Wanya Quadro, I'm one of the other. But you for so already, I brought you my who's what do your doctor. Secret one and many a year. Was I not be a kid? Oh, yes, one you want to when you bring it. But you was really go. You knew studio, you know.
Koma meko na fedi ya mitijayo. Medi wa fechi mensu afame. Menim sa kabamba. Medi usikechi mama dani akuao. Menim sa kabambo. Koma meko. Koma meko. Koma meko na fedi ya mamre. Koma meko. Koma meko. Koma meko na fedi ya mamre. Koma meko. Koma meko. Koma meko na fedi ya mitijayo. Memma biwa, memma biwa. Memma biwa, memma biwa. Azaza yemia, memma biwa. Azaza yemia, memma biwa. Wumi fufro ni die, na use winyami anime, na unimi huagro. Oba fufra wekonya nunti. Ama wasuni na ye shishishi. Etuli asina dani mtokwe. Ibisa usika na dani asotro. Tonto mama mi abubu. Emi ya mi mrebi. Emi ya mi mrebi nwa. Na mi mawati asiyese. Enye menyi na ne ye wa ye niya. Enye menyi na ne ye niya trao. Enye menyi na ne ye huwa loke. Emi ya mi mebi ewa. Emi ya mi mebi. Edi wa huwa fechi mensu afame. Menim sa kamama. Edi usikechi mama dani akuwa o. Menim sa kamamo. Koma meko. Koma meko. Koma meko na fedi ya mamre. Koma meko. Koma meko. Koma meko na fedi ya mapai. Koma meko. Koma meko. Koma meko na fedi ya mitijayo. Koma meko.